If you're an inconsistent creator with lots of ideas but no structure, this video is for you. I kept restarting my YouTube plans, posting random videos that didn't connect, and accidentally turning everything into a tutorial. But the problem wasn't effort or ideas, it was how I was planning. So instead of trying to create the perfect series, I used one prompt to reverse engineer my thinking and build a simple, repeatable system. By the end of this video, you'll have that exact prompt, so you can create a signature or evergreen series and start publishing this week without waiting until everything feels perfect. I didn't sit down and magically create my series. There was a lot of back and forth, testing ideas, and talking things through. Instead of starting over every time, I asked ChatGPT to reverse engineer this process. This tip is from Jeff Su. He shared this idea of asking GPT to reverse engineer a conversation into a single reusable prompt. This prompt took my messy thinking and turned it into a repeatable system. This is super helpful if you're a multi-passionate creator, if you have a lot of interests and ideas and everything feels connected in your head, but scattered on paper, you don't have to niche down. This gives your ideas a lane instead of boxing you in. For example, I have 3 series: Creator Systems, Studio Notes, and Editor's Note. So one for the systems nerd, one for the data nerd, and one for behind the scenes of editing. And the Studio Notes series came from this. It starts with giving ChatGPT a role to act as a senior content strategist and a systems thinker. Then you tell it what type of creator you are, what are you transitioning from, and the series you want to create. You also add what you want to avoid and your long-term goals. Add context like your title, for example, freelance web designer, what you like, what you enjoy, your channel goals, how often you want to post, so weekly or monthly, and then you finish off with the output, and this is what ChatGPT is going to reply with. And then you end it with the tone, so casual, thoughtful, or no guru language. You can find a full version of this prompt linked below if you don't want a screenshot. It doesn't have to be documenting or experimenting like I'm doing. A series can be reflections, patterns you're noticing, questions you're working through, or how you use your systems in real life. So in under 30 minutes, this one prompt gives you clarity on what the series is, why it exists, when to post, and which videos belong in it. Here's what it looks like when it's filled out for a creator building the behind the scenes series. So you start off with the role and what you're transitioning from. So in this example, tutorial heavy content into evergreen series. That's easy to create, not a lot of scripting, and positions you as a strategist. Also, what you want to avoid, the context. So in my example, YouTube content strategist and video editor. Your likes, like documenting process, decisions, and patterns. What you enjoy, if you prefer green screen, screen share, or talking head. And then the goal, like weekly or bi-weekly. And then the output plus the tone. So when you have a signature series, you can finally stop asking what to post. You already know your lane. You can batch when energy is high, and you can perfect it as you go. So you do this once by just reusing the same thinking in a new lane. This also works for newsletters, podcasts, blogs, even live streams, basically anywhere you want to show up consistently. Now that you have your series, this is how you make your first episode without overthinking it. You can keep your first episode simple with the 5 W's. For example, who's this for, what you're working on, why it matters, where you're applying it, and what you're testing next. Or you can try prompts like these. Here's what I'm building right now, and the decision I had to make this week. Something I thought would be easy, one thing I tested this week, or what I'm keeping, what I'm cutting, and why. And if you want a prompt to put this all together, you start with the episode you're creating, and for which series, what you want to focus on in this episode, where you are right now, the problem, the experiment, and the takeaway. You can add in constraints, like use talking points, and keeping it unscripted, and then the output. So with this prompt, it'll be easy for you to use that as a guide for your first episode. So your next steps are to copy the prompt, fill it out, and in a few minutes, you can get started on drafting your first episode. Now, if you want to see how I'm using this in real time, check out the first episodes for Studio Notes or Editor's Note.